Yeah, we have
We got a
so
lot
much
to
to
talk
talk about.
about. A lot to
And
talk about.
yes, and not, and not just Moon Knight.
Not just Moon
Good
Knight.
evening, all of you Minties, and welcome to another live episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, my lovely co-host, the Uncanny Omar.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having me on, Amanda.
You're welcome, as
I
usual.
appreciate it. This is my few seconds to talk. Hopefully, everybody's having a good evening. We get to talk about a lot of stuff today. Moon Knight episode 4 with some spoilers.
Nope, 5.
This is why I don't talk. This is why I don't talk. Why don't you take it from here, Amanda? Tell us a little bit about what we're talking about tonight. What's up, Phil and James? How are you all? Everybody else in the chat. Go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, no. Hey, James. Hey, Phil. How's it going? No, today we are talking about, hey, it's Martin. We are going to be talking about Moon Knight episode 5, which premiered on Wednesday. And we have a lot of other stuff to talk about. We have CinemaCon was this week, so there have been a lot of updates for a lot of our favorite franchises. We've learned a lot about, let's see, what else we've talked about. Just realized or just was announced that there's a certain director we're going to talk about that will no longer be directing a film in the MCU. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. And of course, the latest Doctor Strange trailer that came out with the reveal of the Illuminati. I don't know if anyone wasn't expecting that, but hearing it said out loud is insane.
They would do that. So, like, we're almost there, and we've always, I think we all have guessed that might be coming up. But hey, what's up, man? Your first time live. Happy to have you here.
Yes.
And yes, before
yes.
On the Staples, stop it. Before I go any further, I do want to say something really quick. We lost a true legend today in the comic book industry. Neil Adams passed away. He had been sick for a couple of months, but whenever you don't hear things, you always expect something good to happen, and it sucks. Like, I found out from Mark Waid. Actually, Mark Waid had this beautiful post about him, and then his son posted about him, and I'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow because it's taken a lot for me to kind of gather my thoughts about Neil Adams. I got to meet him a few times. There is an unaired interview with him that I did a few years ago I think I'll just keep that one to myself. That was really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a legend, not just as a phenomenal comic book artist, but he himself changed comics forever. Like, single-handedly, I think, changed the way comics were taken. I mean, he boosted Batman back up to that status that people know him as. Like, because before then it was like campy Batman and funny Batman, and then he went over to Green Arrow and Green Lantern, and with Dennis O'Neil redefined what a comic book should be, what it can be, what it can mean. There's this whole talk of like social commentary these days, but he was doing it long before anybody else was with Dennis O'Neil. And also a big push for the Superman credits, right? To give the creators their names on the credits. We lost a huge force of nature. And yeah, I think that's enough for today, but I'll talk more about it tomorrow. But yeah, thoughts and prayers with his family. Great guy.
Yeah.
What are
we talking about? We're going to talk about some really uplifting stuff now. Moon Knight episode 5, everyone. Because I'm being facetious. I don't know if anyone has. Hopefully, if you've seen this episode, yes, spoilers abound. I know it came out on Wednesday, so it's been a minute. But in case you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, there are spoilers. And funny, comedic, this episode really is not. It definitely took a turn in a different direction I think a lot of people weren't expecting it to take, and certainly not me, but for a good thing. So this episode borrows a lot from the same, I guess, the same plot or the same like story arc kind of that Wanda went through in WandaVision, where your penultimate episode really is where they have to force themselves to deal with any mental trauma that they have that is, is the reason they, in Wanda's case, create an alternate reality where she's controlling people to have this life that she can't have, right? in Mark Spector's case, it is for him to take away the abuse and that he suffered at the hands of his mother. And so we're going to talk about that. So basically, Moon Knight episode 5, we start right back kind of where we left off at the end of the last episode, where Stephen and Mark are separated in 2 different bodies. This is definitely a masterclass of acting by Oscar Isaacs, that he acts as 2 different people. And I honestly forgot that they were the same actor at some point.
Because have you seen the meme where it's like the chemistry between the 2 actors has been just amazing? And it's talking about Oscar Isaac.
I did see the meme where he said, and the Oscar for best actor goes to Oscar Isaacs for Mark Spector, and the best actor for supporting actor goes to Oscar Isaacs for Stephen Grant. So yeah, this is definitely his Emmy reel for sure, this episode right here. So they kind of leave off right where they left off, where there was Tararet, and she pretty much confirms their fears that this is the afterlife, that they are not in some crazy mental institution. Not all this is not in their head, as their doctor, Dr. Harrow, is trying to let them believe. But all that Dr. Harrow, everything they're going through, is part of this afterlife where he's coming to terms with his soul and balancing out his soul. And if it's a balanced soul, then he gets to go off to the Field of Reeds, which looks like the Field of Dreams or the end of Gladiator. Or if not, the Duat or other unclaimed or unbalanced souls, they'll come and take him and they'll become part of the sand in the afterlife. So, of course, here at this point, Tarwit mentions mention briefly of another MCU property, which is the Black Panther Ancestral Plane. Again, as mentioned, we had already seen that statue of Bast as well earlier in a few episodes back. So clearly there's a little bit of a connection there because of those, their gods are so closely connected. So It was cool to see that very brief MCU, mention, even though it's just very brief. So of course they're on this boat and they're sailing to get to the Field of Reeds, or maybe not, depending on if their soul is balanced. And the whole idea is inside the boat, they have to come to terms with balancing their soul. And so in this hospital room or in this hospital hallway, there's a number of doors and they're all memories. Some of them are Stephen's memories. Some of them are actually Mark's memories. And there are memories that Mark's trying to not let Stephen see. And the first one, that was.
I like the way that was handled, because I didn't see it coming. No. We'll talk a little bit more about that really quickly. Though we have a really nice super chat. Wow. Man, it can always turn sad news around by just smiling. Thank you so. You know what? I'm not gonna say thank you.
No, because Omar. Yeah, Omar could turn news around too. Yeah. So, okay. But thank you, Scotty G.
No, Scotty.
And thank you to Omar for thanking him for me.
Yeah, I got you. It's 2 a.m. here, but feeling energetic after buying and assembling new Kalos for my fiance.
That's awesome.
Was on top of my expansion for everyone. Oh, that's great. And thank you, seriously, Scotty.
You are a great fiance.
And everybody that's watching and joining us live. So yeah, this you know what? No, let's keep going.
So basically what happens is Stephen decides to not listen to Mark and enters one of these particular memories, and it is of Mark as a young boy, which of course Stephen doesn't remember this because we find out later Stephen wasn't yet created. And it is Mark as a young boy. He has a younger brother named Roro. Well, I don't remember is it Roderick? Yeah, Roro is his nickname.
Mom calls him Ro. In the comics, it's Randall. Really quick, Kyle, buddy, I hope you get through this. My buddy Tina has had COVID for 2 weeks now. And both her and her wife have been they have been in quarantine because they are so super careful. And you stay healthy, man. You stay healthy. Get better soon, brother.
Yes, get healthy. And so Randall and Mark go off while his parents are cooking, and they go to this cave, and there's a flash flood, and Mark is unable to save his younger brother, and he ends up drowning. Of course, Stephen does not remember any of this. So then we get a sequence of Mark's mother and his father at his brother's funeral or afterwards. And Mark is there, and his mother, of course, is devastated by the loss of her younger son. And she blames Mark, and she we see this devastating sequence of Mark having birthday parties where his mother will not come down. So his father is having to play the role of both mother and father in this instant. And then we also see one of those scenes where Mark runs away from his mother and she gets angry. We don't know yet what happens next. So, of course, this is all going on while, again, they are also dealing with Dr. Harrow because he kind of goes back and forth between these two, his memories, and, of course, dealing with this Dr. Harrow character and trying to figure out what's real and what's fake. And the idea is that Mark needs to be honest with Steven about their past in order for them to become balanced. And they realize that it's even more important because as they exit the boat during one of their trips down memory lane, Tararet says there's all these souls, and you see these souls that are coming down from Earth into this afterlife, and they are souls that were not meant to be. These are souls that were not supposed to be taken yet. It was not their time. And that means that we haven't seen it, but above on Earth, or above, below, in wherever plane we're at, in the earthly plane, Arthur Harrow has succeeded in raising Amit. She is now unleashing her judgment upon the world. So now the clock is ticking. Mark has to come to terms with what's going on, and him and Steven need to, he needs to tell Steven the truth. So eventually Steven does learn the truth. You see a very rough scene of Mark as a child, and his mother is banging on the door, and he's just trying to remind himself, this is not my mom. Of course, she's grieving. She has obviously mental issues, and we could talk about, how those things can, be hereditary, etc. And for him to cope, that's when he creates Steven, and you see that persona automatically change because Stephen Grant was a character he watched on TV. He had a poster in his hall, and Stephen Grant's not afraid of anything. So Mark admits to Steven, you were not supposed to see any of this. You were created so you could remember the good parts of our mother and about the good parts and live a nice, normal, simple life. You were not meant to live the life that I lived. And we also get to see the scene where he becomes Moon Knight as well, and we learn about how he came to be, and basically
It was a great scene
of him becoming Moon Knight. Perfect, quick origin, like what we exactly needed. And basically he was in the military, got discharged because he kind of went AWOL. So of course, when you're dishonorably discharged, it's hard to find work instead. But he had an old CO named Bushman. And a lot of people were wondering if Arthur Harrow was a copy of Bushman, but it looks like we've got our separate character now. Yep. So Bushman's a separate character completely. And he, of course... Oh, yeah. And, this is where I stopped watching. Yes, he come back and watch after this. So, of course, he talks about how he didn't want to kill all the archaeologists. He tried to save them, but of course, Bushman and his crew, they weren't going to have that. And we see that scene where he's dying. He's about to kill himself, and then that's when Khonshu, because he's at Khonshu's statue, and he's like, this would be a waste. And he realizes he has a fractured mind. He's the perfect candidate. And yes, Steven's right. He was able to coerce him into becoming his Moon Knight. And we get to see that amazing scene of him becoming Moon Knight for the first time and being healed and everything like that. And so once he tells Steven, not only did his mother beat him and she called him awful things, calling him a disgusting human and treating him so poorly, he also reveals to Steven that their mother is dead. And of course, it's something that Steven cannot handle, because if we all remember in the first episode, Steven's always on the phone with his mom. He's like, hey, Mom, what's going on? Or hey, Mom.
Yeah, it was like on the second episode.
Yeah, and he kept talking to his mom, and you never thought that was going to be something that would come back around. Because I wondered always a little bit, like, how would a mom know if he has different personalities? Does she know? But now we understand that she was never there. And of course, Steven has a hard time with this as well. And he ends up back in Dr. Harrow's office. And that's when Dr. Harrow picks up the phone to call his mother, and there's no one on the other line because she has passed away. And we finally get to see the scene where this all happened about 2 months before their lives started blending together and when they became aware of each other. And that's when his father wanted him to come to his mom's Shiva, and he tried, but he just could not do it. He didn't want to give her the satisfaction.
Is this the first episode where they've acknowledged like his full Jewish background?
Yes. I think so. 100%.
I remember in the past, like that was one complaint I kept seeing about from the comments, like they're not acknowledging, the whole Jewish thing, and because it's very important to the character's background. Of course, that's very important to the comic book character. They can completely change it up, as we've seen in comic book adaptations before. So I thought it was pretty interesting that they kind of threw it all into one episode.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Thor thoughts about this. He did wear the Star of David. You're right, Rick. Right, and
that's true.
When he had it on his chest. Yeah, but I want to say this is where they really went all out.
You knew that was
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So, they do have this really great moment then when Stephen realizes that his mother has passed away, and he tells Mark, it's not your fault. What happened to your brother is not your fault. Your mother, she never should have said those things to you. You are not a bad person. And this is also when Stephen realizes he is not the main personality. This is Mark's life. Stephen was created. Now, granted, we still haven't seen all those hints at a possible third personality has not shown up yet. This is our penultimate episode, so not sure what's going to happen in the next episode, if that is even going to be a thing they explore. But of course, there's no real time to, after they deal with this and they come to these grips where now Stephen knows the truth, they didn't do it enough in time to make it to Osiris's gate, because they were trying to get to Osiris's gate to go back to Earth, because they need to get word to Layla to free Khonshu so that Khonshu can go and, of course, bring him back to life so that he can be Moon Knight again to stop Dr. Harrow or Arthur Harrow. But it doesn't work. They make it to make it to Osiris's gate. Tara's like, peace. I really wanted it to work out for you guys, but it didn't work out. The duet come, and of course Mark's battling them, and this is when we get to see Stephen realize, wait, I'm him. I can do this. And then he fights alongside of him, and it's this great moment of these two personalities, this one person coming together, and then of course the duet pulls Stephen overboard, and Mark wants him to be saved. And it's an interesting thing where you see he wants his second personality that's in his head to be there, because it's his friend now. It's become like a part of him. And of course, as soon as Stephen turns into sand, stone, dust.
That was pretty emotional.
It was very emotional. Then Mark is balanced and he ends up in the field of reeds where a gladiator's hanging out. And that's where the episode ends. So we haven't made it back to Earth yet. We don't know how he's going to make it back from this afterlife he's ended up in. Mm-hmm. And we're not quite sure what the next episode is going to entail, but it has a lot to cover in one episode. If this truly is a limited series.
We say that a lot, don't we, on this show? We say that a lot. We said that about Game of Thrones, which, oh my God, it's not.
Well, that's a whole different story.
But we said that a lot about Disney shows, the Disney MCU era.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot to cover for that last episode, but it feels like we do. I have a lot of thoughts about this particular episode. To me, it felt like it changed what type of show this is supposed to be. And my complaint from the very beginning was there's not enough Moon Knight. There's not enough action. I'm trying to see what this show is. Stephen is really annoying. I think I've had enough of him. Let's go ahead and get more of a balance between Mark and him. Oh, they're hinting at Jake Lockley. Maybe he's gonna be the one in the big
sarcophagus. And even in the episode, there's the one when he talks to the doctor. He has this weird accent that is not Mark's or Steven.
I noticed that too.
But again, it's not dressed. So.
Throwing in another personality
right now, this late in the game.
Oh my gosh! At the end, it's just maybe as a after credit to lead into another possible thing, like, oh, there's another that I created for the sake of this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so immediately where my brain went was, oh, okay, they changed up the origin of Moon Knight some. Moon Knight has been changed to an amalgam of what. And I don't want to spoil anything. So in case you haven't read Bill Mantlo or Peter David's run on the Hulk, or the original idea by Barry Windsor Smith, I am going to talk just a little bit about that. Mm-hmm. So just in case, spoilers for the Hulk run by Why I Love the Hulk by Peter David. One of the things I never do on my show is when people ask me, I don't like to spoil exactly why I love it. I always talk about the character study of the Hulk. But there's this really cool thing that happens in a particular issue of the Hulk. It's a Hulk 312, written by Bill Mantlo. The original idea apparently was from Barry Windsor Smith. I don't know. I'm not here to talk about that. But the story is that it focuses on Bruce Banner's past, where his father was abusive, and a young Bruce Banner created the persona of the Hulk to kind of escape that life, to fight against his father. And so when he gets hit by the gamma ray, it's not like the gamma ray created the Hulk creature, but that it just amplified what Bruce Banner had already created. And that's one of the biggest things that like Peter David evolved, like just really takes a deep dive into in his run. And I love it. So I feel like that's such a good story that they had to use it somewhere. And I don't think they're ever going to use it for the Hulk. So you might as well use it for something like this, even though Moon Knight himself is already a pretty complex character compared to the rest of the Marvel universe. And this episode really showed what kind of show this is. Like, I don't think I'm okay without having Moon Knight. I like this idea of somebody creating, this self-defense mechanism that he had because of his mother. And even though they never showed anything rough, like the
beatings
the death of a child or the beatings, or all of that is just implied, and right, and it almost makes it worse, right? Like, it's a trick of that's the beauty of comics and in movies have done right. Like, your ideas in your head are worse than what would probably be seen on film. So it makes it even worse that they don't show it. It's it was a good episode. I really like this. I like it that it was a game changer. I like that it's only 2 of them. I'm okay with that. I know it changes the origin, but I'm okay with that too. It doesn't have to be a true comic book origin story for me to appreciate the adaptation. I mean, we've seen it change. We've seen them change a lot. I think the latest thing that I've heard people complain about is Kamala Khan's powers, but we'll talk about that at a later time.
We will have to on some point, in June when it comes
Oscar
out.
Isaacs, man, like, dude, there is a scene where Steven jumps in to Mark's body, and just his facial expression changes. Now you see, I've watched what's it called recently? Severance.
Oh gosh, yes,
Severance. The elevator ride,
when they go from
but that's all CG, right? This is actually acting. Like, his face like changes. Oh, and it's such a subtle change. Damn, then I've said this before on the show that they don't make a lot of character actors anymore. Like, those days are gone.
Yes,
like,
they are.
I love Burgess Meredith for that reason. The guy could like move his face around to like play certain roles. Oscar Isaacs is freaking solid.
Yeah, you could put him in any era of filmmaking and he would just fit. That's what's so amazing about his potential and his talent. And you don't see that a lot anymore.
What's up, Aaron? And everybody else, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us, guys.
Let me hear your thoughts. You've heard a little bit of my thoughts. I want to
hear
your
thoughts. As you know, I've watched this episode probably like 3 or 4 times. Maybe that's torturing myself. Because it's an amazing. I love this episode. I'm not even gonna, out of all the episodes we've seen so far, this one has no Moon Knight except for when he turns into Moon Knight for 5 seconds.
What a great scene that was!
Great scene, yeah, but only for 5 seconds. But it didn't need Moon Knight because what it was portraying and what they were dealing with. I mean, it still makes me emotional right now just talking about it. I think it was top notch as far as what they were. Now, if I go back and rewatch all these 5 episodes, I finally see, like, I don't think this is Moon Knight's origin story in a different way. And not just like the origin story of how he got his personalities, but yes, he's been Moon Knight, right? With Khonshu, but the Moon Knight that we might see in later iterations, for example, or in later, if they, I know they say this is a limited series, but the way they're setting it up, there is potential for maybe more. That if they try to go for more with it, they're setting it up for that, where there's an actual like Moon Knight. Because even, Spider-Man 3, No Way Home, it's almost like another side of an origin story for Spider-Man where he starts all over fresh as a new Spider-Man, right? This is kind of how I feel, where we lose this. We are going to lose a personality. Will he get Steven back? I don't know. I mean, for a character that I was getting a little bit annoyed with, the way they made me feel about him at the end of this episode, that is top notch for Oscar Isaac's acting, as well as like the writing, of course, as well. But does that mean we're going to get more later on? I mean, will he develop personalities more akin to the comics, where he uses them as like keeping, eyes and ears like Jake Lockley does? Maybe he creates him for a different purpose, right? That's something that they could do if we're just redoing the origin story halfway through the season because they want more. And he said with the mention, yes.
Yeah, it's your very first mention of anything outside of this, right? Before that, it was, we don't talk about a battle of New York. We don't talk about the blip. We don't talk about any of that. I think that's the first mention of anything outside of this realm. So
exactly.
And even that, but even the way it looked with the colors, I remember you and I texting about that.
I was going to show you, like, here's the coloring of them on the ship outside in the afterlife. And then here is Black Panther walking to all of his ancestors. So I mean, can you tell the difference if you like back and forth?
There's a giant hippo.
Okay, that is a big difference. There's some panthers in the other.
No, I'm just that's great. It's nice little subtle touches like that I appreciate about this.
Yes.
It's funny how many times I've come into rating these things and I'm like, I don't know about this show. Like my issue with Loki, I'm like, Loki isn't the same. He's not scheming. He's not smart. Loki's supposed to be smart. And in the final 2 episodes, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing with this. I ended up liking it more. I don't know. Hawkeye I did enjoy a lot more than most people did, but
I enjoyed that too.
This was great. This was a game. This was a definitely game changer for me. It changed my mind about how I should portray or how I should be watching this instead of like expecting things like super
action,
which is still nice. It's nice, right?
Yeah,
it's a superhero show.
And we'll get that. But I was thinking about what I did like about it is so different. We usually have to see the villain enact his evil plan, right? We didn't actually see the enacting of the plan. We didn't see Amit rise. We didn't see whatever they went through, whatever ceremonies.
Who the villain is it Ethan Hawke?
Is it Ethan Hawke is the villain? I think so.
I don't know.
Maybe it's his own mind, but we know what's happening and we know it's bad because we see the souls that are coming down. So it's so interesting they would go through. We don't even get to see what happens as far as what the main event will be for the next episode to stop Amit, right?
When both of them are looking out the door and they're looking at what we think is Jake Lockley standing next to the car. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the other place. So this is the 3rd time I've noticed the QR code. There's a QR code there in that scene.
Oh,
I don't know where it takes you to, but I was looking for those in each episode. That's why I watch them twice. And if you found them in episodes 3 and 4, please let me know because I haven't found them. This is the other episode I found it. I don't know where it takes you to, but I did find it there.
Exactly.
And let me see. You mentioned Bushman, which obviously existed in this universe. We mentioned his brother Randall. Now Randall in the comics becomes a villain. He becomes the Shadow Knight.
Not in this universe.
Well, I mean, he still could.
He still could. There's never
say
never.
Like the dead don't rise, right?
Because technically, I think that the dead is going to rise. Because I'm pretty sure that Mark has made it to the serene afterlife of what I would assume is the Egyptian version of Valhalla, the Field of Reeds. So that's where he is. Yeah, so and
one of the things I did pause it in, I thought I took a picture of it, but I didn't, was the movie poster. I wanted to look at the credits of the movie posters.
Oh, for the Stephen Grant movie poster?
Yeah, there was a name there, Doug Perlin, which I think it's a mix of Doug Minch and Don Perlin, who were credited as co-creators of Moon Knight. But that was about the only thing that I saw there. I think every other name may be like an Easter egg to people that worked on the show. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I look at little things like that. I remember we were doing. I can't remember what we were watching when it was a TV show. I mean, it was WandaVision. The like video
might be that
in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I like looking at things like that in case.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I have.
So Alex brought the point that these shows are more character studies and action shows, and I would agree with that.
Definitely, absolutely.
I mean,
couldn't
I
do this in a movie.
you could not go through everything that we've gone through with the personalities. It would be truncated for sure, and I don't think it would be as
you could,
satisfying.
but you would have to mix in action. Otherwise, it'd be, I don't know. Yeah, you couldn't.
Be,
I think
yeah.
it's a nice trial. You know, it's definitely testing the waters for things they can do later on. I found it more interesting than, like, you know, I heard, and I'm sorry, I keep going back to this, but like Eternals was supposed to be the big testing the waters for a different artsy kind of superhero movie. And I feel like, to me at least, that kind of missed what this is now kind of hitting, and character studies and breaking down the character and just tearing down everything to you know, for like a true origin of why the character exists, not just I got bitten by a radioactive spider.
It's true.
Moon Knight is his strongest villain. Moon Knight is Mark's strongest villain. WandaVision was a limited series, and we will see plenty of Wanda and Agatha. I heard rumors that Agatha is getting her own series. We'll be talking about movie and TV news here after we.
Because Wanda is getting a lot, so we don't know. I mean, we know that they said that they've put Moon Knight in for limited series, and I was trying to see if there were any limited series that may have, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It is interesting they would do it. They wouldn't release that. They would put it in the limited series. What they did with WandaVision as well, because we knew they weren't going to get another WandaVision.
This last episode is going to be the determining factor for if the show is worth for the thing is, Curtis, they got you though. You still watched all 6 episodes, man. I don't know what I'm hoping.
Or wait, have you watched all 6 episodes?
I assume.
Okay, I was.
But I want a sense of satisfaction that episodes haven't delivered yet. I feel the same way. So I love this episode. I almost called it an issue. I love this episode. God damn it, I almost did it again. But I still think that this definitely should have been somewhere as like episode 4 instead of episode 5. I still think episode 2 was not necessary.
Agreed.
I think they spent too much time building up the character of Steven when they immediately could have introduced the Steven Mark dynamic in episode 1 and given us 2 full episodes to wrap everything up, properly introduce your opposing forces, and give us another little twist in there.
I am going to be interested to see how this last episode does shake up, because I know it doesn't seem like, someone earlier had said it's not that a lot, but it is a lot, wherein Mark has to get back to the land of living, which is a whole thing.
Like Layla?
And what
role is that? What role does she? I remember I was like,
well, and again, what role is hers? Especially when we know that one of the main driving factors with her character is that Khonshu wants her as the next Moon Knight. So how does that play? Like, is that just a one-off? Are we not going to explore that anymore?
Right.
Why would we bring that up? Right. But she's going to have to somehow get Mark back to Khonshu. They have to free Khonshu, right? So there's that issue. But this episode really, it definitely turned a lot for me, and
for me too.
I don't want it to, of course, sugarcoat the ending, and at the end, for me, but maybe they'll surprise me and they actually can pull everything off.
I mean, here's the thing though, like every time we watch these, like no matter how brilliant a show is, you have to stick to it has to stick to its landings, right? Because if it doesn't, then we get Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And everybody here remembers Game of Thrones and how phenomenal it was, how we couldn't wait to talk about it. And then we got the final season and we're like,
oh man, that episode we aired right after that series finale with our faces. If you ever go back and see some of our older episodes, me and Omar at one point were like, we were doing late night, Sunday night.
It was a lot of fun.
Live after the episode aired of that last season of Game of Thrones. And that last episode, our faces said it all.
And I feel like, anything can happen in the last episode. It could really destroy the series, or it can make the series a wonderful, well worth it. Hey, I need to watch that again and see the things that I
Or
missed.
when are we going to see? Yeah, I want the ending of this season or limited series, whatever we're going to call it, to make everyone go, I want more of Mark Spector. I want more Moon Knight.
I tell you what, right now, as of this episode, I want more of that.
Oh God, I do. I want
more of that, and not necessarily him stuck in an insane asylum. Me asking, "Oh, is this real? What if it's all made up?"
Though it was trippy and it was great.
It's good, but they have
the way they handle it was well. They
do. So for anybody that has seen, I'm sorry. Anything else you wanted to add about this particular episode? We went through Easter eggs. We went through the breakdown. Mad props for you for always doing the proper breakdown.
Oh yeah, thank you. But I really do hope he does get nominated for an Emmy for this. I mean, that scene just where he's like, no, you can't make me. And he's like hitting his head. I was like, oh my God.
Emmys are going to be tough, man.
Yeah. Well,
I almost texted you and said, can we not talk about Moon Knight? Let's just do a show on 1883.
We'll do a show on 1883.
So ready to talk about that show. I love that show so much.
It is an amazing show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
But let's go back.
Yeah. Oh, Martin has a good question because this is my question too. Do you think that Steven's coming back? I am curious about that because you introduce him as a main character in the beginning, only to find out he's really just a supporting character in Mark's life.
If for people complaining about the comics, going, well, Mark Spector is the real.
But
in a way, that's true, right?
In a way, yeah. But in a way, you see the other personalities have some time too, so that is going to be interesting. Obviously. Does he retain that? I mean, if he got rid of Steven, he's balanced. Does he need to? I'm really going to be curious to see what they do with that. If they want to bring back that personality or if they bring back another personality and then we get Jake Lockley as a tease. But again, if we're going to do that, then their plan is for us to see more Moon Knight because why would you introduce that tease and not expect to see more of it?
So, yeah. All right, Amanda.
Yeah.
What would you give this episode out of 10? And then we can rate the entire series. Ooh, how are we going to do next week? Because we got Doctor Strange next week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Let's rate the episode. And everybody that has watched
it.
I got you. What would you give this episode out of 10? Anybody who's watching it? Ladies first.
All right. I'm going to give this a solid, for me, 8.5 out of 10. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It's weird. It's almost making like a U for me. Like it started off pretty good. I'm interested.
It's
like, dive, and I'm like, I don't care. This episode really turned it around for me. So it's funny that it's in U shape. Yeah, I think it's solid 8. It's good.
Yeah.
I have very little to complain about. I'm still, there's some things I have issues with, but nothing huge. I think a solid 8. It was good. It was rough. The woman that played his mother, oh my God, when she's screaming at him, it was really powerful. I mean, that anybody that's ever gone through anything like that at all would immediately like that trigger.
It'd be a trigger warning. Yeah. Which maybe they should have, they might have wanted to put something, maybe, I don't know, but it definitely is a trigger warning.
Yeah. Oh, those are almost spoilers, right? Like I watch a couple of shows where they warn you about like suicide and things like that.
Self-harm and things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, that spoils.
Or eating disorders and things like that.
Going.
Yep.
Hippo God alone makes it an 8. Yeah, let's see what everybody else thinks. I give it a 9 out of 10, 7.5.
Very nice.
8.5. 9 out of 10, 7.5, 7. Therapy out of 10.
Therapy out of 10 for sure.
10 out of 10. I teared up. Give me Oscar Isaacs.
Yes.
2 Emmys.
Yeah.
That would be funny if they do that. 8 out of 10 because Better Call Saul season 6 episode 3 claims a 10 out of 10. I need to finish Better Call Saul. I wasn't the biggest fan of Breaking Bad. Please don't come at me.
Did they make an announcement that the other 2 are returning for Better Call Saul, or am I making that up in my head?
This is the final season, so I don't know.
Okay. I thought that Cranston and Jesse, what's his name?
I mean, since it's a prequel, I would assume they at least make a cameo. Hippo God alone makes it an 8, 8.5 for episode 7 for the series so far, but potential to spike up depending on how it ends. I like that. Keep that mind open. 8 out of 10 from my buddy Tim. Hope you're feeling better.
Hey Tim, hope you're feeling good. Yeah.
Phil Owens, 7 out of 10, best episode so far, but a thudding rock dropped right in the middle of the story. Yes, I agree. I feel like it was. I even said to you, I said there were pretty much no Marvel quips in this episode that
that Omar was complaining about.
It didn't need any. It didn't need it.
Well, no, I was just saying they took it seriously, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. I've got notes, but they're all errors carried forward. My boy Isaac Nelson. He's great. Curtis, let's see. This is shaping up to be my favorite thing to come out of the MCU. Interesting and unique storytelling and action. They dealt with trauma and abuse in a very respectful way.
Yes,
10 out of 10. I agree with
100%.
that.
I agree with that. And yes,
8 out of 10 from my buddy Rodman's primary Moon Knight list episode. Best Moon Knight list episode.
It is the best Moon Knight list. Yes, the director for Better Call Saul did say that Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston are appearing in the final season of Better Call Saul. They will make an appearance.
If you're a fan of that show, good for you. Enjoy it. Yep. I would rather have an 1883 season 2 though, but that's
you're getting 1932.
Here nor there.
We're going for the Great Depression era. We're getting ready for it. You just got to deal with it.
No, man.
Either way, it's going to be as depressing as the ending of 1883.
You don't say what it is. People want to see it.
Yeah, I know.
This is my favorite MCU show after WandaVision. Still like it. Didn't see it, but put 10 numbers in a bowl and pulled that.
That's amazing.
Scotty, that's
love
exactly
that.
how I give my ratings. I give my ratings the exact same way, my brother.
That's an amazing way. I'm going to do that from now on.
Okay, so now we're moving on to other
movie
things.
News.
This is the part of the episode where we talk about comic book movie, and TV news, right?
Yes. So before we talk about CinemaCon, obviously a lot of things came. So there's a lot of updates, but most of them came out because of CinemaCon, which was going on all this week. So before we get into all those updates, let's first talk Illuminati.
Okay, so before we do, in case you have not seen any of the
trailers,
there are people that avoid trailers and forget.
Oh shoot! Well,
hold on, I'll explain. We are going to be talking about the Doctor Strange, the latest TV spot and little mini trailer that dropped. So just in case you don't watch them, maybe put us on mute and then we'll come back and join us for the rest of the convo.
Yes.
But for all you brave souls that are still here, yeah, what the hell, man? Like we're a week away, and they're gonna just drop that. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
I know we all guessed it, right? Like
if you were a comic book fan, you guessed it.
Surprise,
but now we know it's Illuminati, so we know that Mordo
not
is
only that,
Mordo.
But then we see the
wheel.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, there's no denying it, Patrick Stewart. No one's imitating your voice.
Oh my god, it would be awesome if he's playing Ralph Boner's dad.
Stop.
Ralph Boner.
Stop.
I'm done. I'd walked out.
What if Ralph Boner's on the Illuminati? No, I'm just kidding.
I told you the Illuminati's made of Morbius,
Evan Peters,
Venom, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool from Wolverine Origins. Who else did I say? Aquafina. I can't remember.
No, I said. What did I say? Oh, I said Ghost Rider maybe could be on it.
Ghost Rider.
Oh, Johnny Storm, but Chris Evans' version.
Yeah,
he can make an appearance on there. I don't know why, but
Octavia Spencer. That's her name.
Yes,
why?
Omar's
From
favorite
that
actress.
Superhero movie with what's her face, the other lady that you like that I have issues with. So it's gonna be interesting to see that movie and when people are laughing. And I will 100% coming clean. The idea of the Illuminati, I've always hated. I know a lot of people love it.
Was it Hickman who came up with that?
No, that was Brian Michael Bendis. That was such a weird retcon because to me it didn't make any sense. The people couldn't be. How could they have been scheming during Secret Wars? Even the issues that he tied it in, I'm like, whatever. For the sake of the movie and everything, yeah, sure, I'm excited. Let's see who's this Council of Illuminati. At first, it could have been a Council of Doctor Strange, and they could have gone the route of the Council of Reed.
Yeah,
but
they could have.
I'm interested to see where they go. I would love to see some returning actors, of course. A bit besides the one that I think is going to be there. Right?
Who's the one you think besides Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart, right? Yeah.
Well, so you saw the Captain America shield, which looks very much more like.
Nope. I saw the Captain Britain shield.
Yes. Okay. Well, there's a possibility that's going to be Captain Carter.
Oh man, she better look all tall and buffed up like she did in the show? She's all sexy.
That's a good question. How? Yeah,
right?
well,
She was big. She was picking.
She was
up.
big, and
I know you saw the memes of her picking up. Skinny Steve and all the
little Steve,
all the thirst.
No, so I know. I'm pretty sure she is going to be in there.
Okay.
Oh, remind me of the actress's name who plays Peggy Carter.
Haley
Atwell. Yes.
Atwell.
So Haley Atwell, most likely is going to be reprising that role. Why not? She did in What If. She's the voice of her own character.
I love her, man. She is a fine-looking lady too.
Yeah,
and yeah, she could own it.
She didn't get her due. Yeah, exactly. So she's returning. So I think from the trailer, a lot of people have pretty much confirmed that it's not that image we thought might be like a Supreme Iron Man is really going to be Monica or Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel.
Oh, so you think it's Maria, not Monica?
Yes. Okay. So it's gonna be the mom. Yeah. So I think that's what a lot of people are theorizing, which would be that way you get to see that actress back in the game, which I know she'll be in the Marvels, I'm assuming. Well, no. I don't know. She died
now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, Amanda. Or were we done with the Captain? I'm sorry, Doctor Strange.
No, I mean, no.
We're not done. We can't be done. We can't be done. Damn movie ain't even out. We're already like trying to.
Yeah, just for you guys' sake, for planning purposes. So we are seeing that movie, all of us as a family, Friday night. So we will not be having a show Friday night because of us seeing that movie. So we're planning on probably doing a show on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do Moon Knight season finale.
Yeah, because I feel like that needs to be its own thing, and Doctor Strange needs to be its own thing, right?
Exactly.
Maybe we can do it like Thursday late night. Depends on you, because I know you're.
Well, Thursday, Thursday I can do. Wednesday I'll be on a plane till like 10 o'clock at night. So
okay, well maybe Thursday then. We'll play it. We'll play it by ear.
Play by ear. So we're gonna try so we can get you guys some Moon Knight.
I'm sure Doctor Strange. There's gonna be so much to talk about.
We need an episode alone.
Yeah. So
and Moon Knight episode 6 we do too. They swapped dates, and that's really interesting. But given that it makes sense because now the Marvels is coming out first. It makes sense in that Ms. Marvel comes out in
when does that come out?
June, beginning of June.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good for Phil. He's cleared it. Okay.
All right, Phil. We can do Thursdays. It's good for Phil. It's good for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that, that could be a reason why, in addition to whatever's happening in Doctor Strange. So maybe those two things combined is why they wanted to push up.
Oh, you're right. Marvels. Yeah, because they kind of did that before, right? Like move things around.
Or they're not fit. They're doing some stuff with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, and they're doing some reshoots or things like that. They're not quite finished with it yet. There could be a lot of reasons, but that's my guess, is that they come to realize where the story's headed. I did like that during CinemaCon, I guess Kevin Feige said they're going on a retreat. All of the Marvel writers and etc. They're going to go on a retreat to plan out this next whole phase and moving forward and everything like that. So
can you imagine being a fly on the wall?
Oh, I would love it. Oh, it would be the best. It would be the best.
You couldn't keep your damn mouth shut. You'd be texting everybody.
I'd have opinions
at Kevin Feige. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if something does happen within the Doctor Strange movie, and of course Miss Marvel to push that movie up some. Pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting change in dates. I mean, do we see that often from Marvel?
They've done that before. They've moved around
dates around. Like, this is going to premiere before this. I know with the TV shows during COVID, they did.
Yes, because of shooting and issues with COVID-related procedures. Yeah, so they did do that. But I think early on, and it's hard because sometimes my news feed or my memories from Facebook pop up and they talk about, they announced like the next Marvel phase, and I'm like, that doesn't exist. That didn't come out then. That didn't happen. Those were swapped. So it has happened before, and it is fun to go back and find those old images just to remember that things were so much different back then to what we.
I just want to know, like, I remember how excited about the DC, what is it called? DCEU, right? Like the DC movie universe. How excited I was when, like, Man of Steel came out, and the plan for like Man of Steel 2, Wonder Woman by Joss Whedon, the Batman trilogy by Nolan, and then expanding that into like 3 more movies, and then all of it building a Justice League. I was like, oh my God, they're doing the same thing that Marvel did, but I don't care. It's gonna work. And man, I don't think every single one of those projects got canceled. Man of Steel 2 became Batman versus Superman, which, yeah. So there was that.
Anyways, but in other Marvel news, I know a lot of people put it in the chat. We are going to talk about it. And that is that John Watts has stepped down. This happened literally as I was at my daughter's Girl Scout cookie packing event. And I messaged it right to Omar. Guess we got something else to talk about tonight. John Watts stepping down as the director of Fantastic Four. So I don't know what that's going to do to the production. Obviously, push it back a little bit, which I'm sad because
people not familiar. Who is John Watts? What has he done before?
Yes, John Watts is the director of all 3 Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. So the statement that Kevin Feige had released said that he wanted to focus more on movies away from superhero filmmaking, but they're going to always leave the door open for him to return. However, because of that, he is not returning Fantastic Four. Not sure what happened, if there is an issue of vision clashing, or if he really just, after Spider-Man 3, got exhausted. I mean, even when the way Tom Holland talks about that last movie during the press junkets, etc., even though he said, I'm done, this is it, and then he would come back, well, maybe not. Like, I think even he's a little burnt out. And I think for John Watts, who is, before this, those were his largest films that he's ever directed, put out. I mean, he was very much more of an indie director. So I can imagine that kind of work, especially with working for a engine like Marvel and Disney, could put a strain on someone who's not used to that. He's definitely not like a Steven Spielberg who's used to those timelines and deadline, or not, you know what I mean?
Just and then having to also work producers in. I mean, look what happened to Spider-Man 3, right? Like, not his, but
poor Sam Raimi, who did say he wouldn't mind doing a Spider-Man 4.
Sandman and Vulture is all he wanted, and the studio producers were like, "No, you got to use Venom." And look what happened.
And Hobgoblin, we need all of it.
Oh my gosh! When the studios get involved, shareholders get involved. Like, I mean, this happens a lot, right? Like, Kevin Smith has talked about, like, him selling the script of Superman, which is one of the best stories. If you've never heard Kevin Smith talk about selling the script of Superman Returns and sitting with a producer, and the producer's like, 10 minutes into the script, he's like, whoa, hold the hell up. Who the hell's this Kal-El guy? That's like one of the best stories. Like, you have to, like, roll with the punches, even though it seems like Kevin Feige has had more control over those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's pretty loosened up, though. Like, I mean, it's a different time than when, like, I cannot remember the director, the Cornetto trilogy, the Scott Pilgrim. He was supposed to direct Ant-Man.
Now I don't remember his name.
Right?
Edgar Wright. Sorry, Edgar Wright. Yeah.
When he was gonna do Ant-Man, he walked away because of creative differences, and that was a different time before Feige had more control over these things and would have given him. Because I mean, look at what Taika Waititi did with.
But Scott Derrickson walked away from Doctor Strange 2 for creative differences.
Yeah, I wonder why that.
And that was Sam I know, because they get Sam Raimi.
Sam doesn't, like, Sam does his own thing.
He's good with horror, so I don't understand. Like, they said Scott Derrickson, I guess,
maybe the vision wasn't there for him, and they decided to go with somebody with. I don't know. That is interesting. That is a really good point.
Yeah, because that's not that long ago, but still long enough. But now
you need a giant spider in the. Hey, that, by the way, that guy that wanted the giants. So you do remember the story, Phil? Funny story. The guy that was pushing for the giant spider in the Superman movie with Kevin Smith ended up producing another movie. Wow!
And it did have giant spider in it. What a great film! No, just kidding.
What is wrong with you?
Did we do? It wasn't really that bad for Wild West.
I do not want to.
I am fairly certain. I thought we had to watch that again. Or did I just watch that
on
my own?
Are you a variant of my Amanda? Because, like,
maybe
you were talking about things that we have not done.
Oh,
Project. You got another show I didn't know about.
No, Project Vice said producer what turned Neil Marshall's Hellboy.
Oh God, we talked. You remember when we were watching Morbius? I was like, this is still not as bad as Hellboy.
Yeah, you're right. It's still not.
Hellboy set the bar for, like, I never wanted to walk out of a movie theater. It was just me and you.
Yeah, it was awful. No one else was in the theater.
And we were just talking like, I'm done. How can this go on for another 45 minutes?
Yes. It was intense. and I'd never want to revisit that ever in my life.
What else did you see the doc movie, The Death of Superman Lives? Yes, I actually I haven't seen that, James, but I know it's out there. All right, what else do we need to talk about? What else Marvel?
All right. So Marvel, so as far
about.
as Marvel is concerned, let's kind of talk about CinemaCon. So obviously CinemaCon came out, lots of stuff, a lot of Disney had their whole slate of movies. They announced Avatar 2, the actual title, which is
What's
The
the
Way
actual
of the
title?
Water. The Way of the Water. And apparently from what they talked about during CinemaCon, so the next 4 avatars, because it's supposed to be 4 extra, so Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, I think.
It's all James Cameron, right?
Yes, but they're going to be more of like an anthology series about the Sully family. So they're going to be not directly like linked. It's not like we're going to have cliffhangers, right, of what happens. They're going to be anthology stories of the Sully family, which I'm assuming is him and Natiri and their family, I guess. So it'll be interesting to see what that is going to look like. But love the rides at, Animal Kingdom, great infusion of new properties that Disney brought on board. So good job, Disney. But Avatar 2 coming out in 2023, Avatar 3 coming out in 2023.
Way of the Water sounds like a Bruce Lee biopic.
It does.
Remember, you've seen that interview with Bruce Lee talking about water, right?
Yes,
water.
I have. But that would be a great biopic.
I still love Avatar. I love Avatar. There's a
my daughter does
too. We're not talking about Last Airbender. We're talking about James Cameron's masterpiece. He created 4D technology. Do y'all remember 4D? It lasted maybe like a month.
It was super popular.
I think I paid $17 to see that stupid movie. And I was like, I think I just paid $17 to watch Fern Gully in blue. That's what it felt like.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I love James Cameron. I think he's a visionary. Aliens. Oh my God. Terminator 2, Terminator 1, Abyss, Titanic.
Yeah, they had a lot of great stuff.
I almost said Last Action Hero, but it was True Lies. Yeah, he's done some amazing movies. My goodness, was that it? Titanic, and then
he
came back with Avatar, right? That was it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Avatar took a minute for him to do it. So
Pocahontas. I've heard that comparison too. I always compared it to
Pocahontas is one. I would say that. Yeah, he's like the John Smith. Yeah. But then I guess we could say Fern Gully was also a version of Pocahontas. It could all stories start to sound the same, guys. There's only like 6 original stories, and we're just retelling the same stories in different ways now.
Right. Give me that 5D. That's what I'm waiting on.
What is 5D? What extra sense can you possibly? Like, I got emotions.
Do not ask the chat what 5D is. Don't answer her, please.
Okay, don't answer that, guys.
Don't answer 5D.
Let's see. What other big news?
Okay. Are we done
they
with
announced.
MCU?
So we know that. No, last thing on MCU. It's not MC related, but it is related to Marvel.
Is it this?
Sony. Yes.
All right,
Sony's at it again.
Amanda, read that.
Omar, Sony is dropping the ball yet again. First Latino comic book person, and they choose El Muerto. Hello. How about Miles Morales? Agreed. Miguel O'Hara, Anya Corazon, and they chose Bad Bunny, who I've never seen act before.
I texted Amanda and I said, I'm officially old. I don't know what the hell Bad Bunny is. People keep messaging me asking me what my thoughts are.
Thankfully, I do.
I don't know what Bad Bunny is.
If they were going to go with someone, at least Maluma actually has acted in a movie with J-Lo. Granted, he was pretty much being a version of himself. Who the
hell is Maluma?
Maluma is a Colombian singer who's super hot and has amazing music. He has this song that came out in 2020 called Hawaii. I don't want to sing it. It's on Spanish.
You're worried about the copyright strike.
Yeah, I'm worried about that's exactly what I'm worried about. But it is one of my favorite songs, and it was my ringtone for a long time. Hawaii is a great song. Actually, Maluma is a great artist.
Bring it back to Bad Bunny. How did
Bad Bunny number one? I don't know how he got it.
Like, apparently he's huge, right? Okay, so
he is. No, he is.
Bad Bunny
is
huge with the Puerto Rican community, and Puerto Ricans make up a huge percentage of the people that go to the movie theater.
Yeah, no, he is huge. He's very famous. A lot of regular hip hop, a lot of Latino.
Then it might make sense to put him as El Muerto, who is a wrestler type of character.
I didn't know he wrestled on WrestleMania, but Then wow, did he?
Messing with this Rodimus Prime rib.
I didn't know that, and that would be awesome. I just listen to some of his music. I don't follow him that closely. Not like Maluma. I do follow him on Instagram.
Maluma and Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny WrestleMania. You keep going, Omar. Give us your thoughts about this while I'm looking this up. He sure did. Okay. That I guess he can act and be a wrestler.
Bad Bunny is the Puerto Rican superstar.
He's he is very famous. So Omar doesn't know, but
Omar, okay. I've admitted.
Omar doesn't know, guys. It's fine. He finally revealed his age.
I finally have said, I think I'm old. I don't know what Bad Bunny is. So here's the thing.
Here, can I show
out of everything that they could do, okay, it feels like Sony is just throwing a bunch of crap at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it works sometimes with Venom, right? And it feels like, okay, we have Venom, we've got Morbius, let's dig some more characters up. Who else we got? And somebody at this shareholder meeting said, we got this character named El Muerto. We got a huge Puerto Rican population that loves our movies, and we got a bunch of wrestling fans that love our movies.
Did someone look that up? Is that true? Do we have a huge Puerto Rican population that loves Marvel movies? Do they look up those stats? I'm just curious.
Apparently, they also make up stats. What's up, Graham? How are you, brother? Jordan, thank you so much. I love this shirt, too. It's Bubble Bobble in the style of Jurassic Park.
Here, you want to see him wrestle? I got a GIF. It's uploading right now.
Look, if I'm going to watch wrestling, there's only one reason I'm going to watch wrestling, and that's right there.
I thought it was going to be Terrence Howard again. I'm so glad it was
that for my Illuminati. Look at that. What is that?
You not need to click that.
You just took my Nikita line off. All right.
There you go. There's Bad Bunny.
Okay, so this guy's going to be El Muerto, who is a wrestler, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which I really like that series, but just it's odd. And he's not the only one, because rumors also have been about the character of Cardiac, who is a character from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Carnage's first appearance was in that Cardiac issue. But is going to be Drake playing Cardiac? Right?
Oh, I don't know. Is it? Drake's
That's what I'm asking you. You're the movie person.
Yeah, I am, but I didn't hear that.
That's the other thing I heard.
Well, he's an actor, okay? For me, he's always going to be Jimmy from Degrassi. He acted before he became Drake.
Can he be Cardiac in Spider-Man?
I don't know.
Illuminati.
Illuminati. I don't.
Okay, what was my favorite thing I heard?
I'm not seeing anything, even on the fake news coming out about it.
Or we did the trailer reaction to Thor. Somebody wrote the MCU.
Because of a Lady Thor?
Thor, first of all, not Lady Thor. Omar, now we need El Muerto oversized hardcore. No, we don't, but whatever. Okay.
Does he have his own? All right. Oh, well.
No, but guess what? Marvel's going to be like, well, I guess we got to.
Ooh, look at all these appearances he made in Spider-Man. We're going to mesh it all together in an oversized hardcore. You can buy.
Now they're going to get like Peter David to come back and write the story of El Muerto and his background. Like, they have so many characters American characters, but maybe they're mixing it with Bad Bunny's wrestling skills, and they're like, hey, let's get this guy a movie.
Impressive. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. Hopefully, it does not go down the Morbius route, and it's more of a surprise.
Hopefully, it goes down the route of Man of Steel 2, where it doesn't get made and we don't have to review it. No offense to Bad Bunny fans or El Muerto fans.
I guess it's all going to depend, because let's think about it. Besides Venom, right? Venom 1 and Venom 2, we haven't seen a lot of villain movies, like villain solo movies that Sony has put out yet, right?
We're getting Craven.
But it doesn't come out until January
it's actually 13th. Being filmed. Like, it's being put together. So that's actually happening, which is
and then weird. Madam Web comes out July of 2023 with Dakota Johnson. Weird. Yeah. So Craven's gonna be the next shot we get to see what Sony's goal is with making these villain.
Craven's gonna be where Morbius is, and phone in Michael Keaton show up, and they're like, "Hey, you want to join the Sinister Six?" El Muerto's gonna join. Cardiac is gonna join, and I guess whatever else they throw out there. All right.
Yeah, Omar, don't
no,
get it
Brad Bunny's
twisted.
not a wrestler. He's a musician that did a guest spot in the tag team match at WrestleMania last year. That's it. He's not. Well, he looked like he was wrestling to me. Yes, Spider-Man 2099. That's somebody said Miguel earlier. That's what we were talking about, but it's not live action. He's going to be
and he wasn't he wasn't the main character or the starring role.
Well, maybe in the sequel, but that movie has been delayed until next year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know why it's been delayed. I thought they were pretty much finished. So now I've got lots of questions about that too.
I am interested why. Yeah, I talked a little bit about Neil Adams passing away. I'll be talking a lot more tomorrow morning. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I respect the man. Has Omar talked about it? We have to let him know. I did talk about it. I did talk about it a little bit earlier. I did. Sinister what? Oh, sis. No, they're going to change it to the Sinister 5 just to throw everybody off.
So
an AA meeting. This is no. But I mean, sure.
It could be.
Tell us your name and tell us what happened.
Yeah, tell us what happened. We'll be here to support.
I hate that Sony's wasting an awesome villain like Kraven in their own movie.
It is a shame.
Is he even going to be a villain, or is he going to be an anti-hero? Like
he's going to be like Morbius
or Venom. So
he will be an anti-hero, but
we gave our Morbius thoughts and review last week. It's just interesting what they decide to do with these different characters.
I agree.
I'm not going to be asking anyone about no damn El Muerto on the Sinister Sony. Yeah. What else happened, Amanda? What else is good?
It's confirmed that we are getting a Batman 2 with Matt Reeves returning directing and Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz returning as Batman and Catwoman respectively. So we are getting that as well. Paramount had a big day. They showed footage from Transformers: Rise of the Beast, that Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine, which I am so intrigued, but I don't know how you can make Dungeons and Dragons. It's a game, but
is it?
Yes.
Tell me more about this.
It's not like it's like when they try to make Battleship, the game, a movie. Well, you have to. People make their own stories within Dungeons and Dragons, right? The idea of Dungeons and Dragons isn't like its own little it's not like Uncharted, right? Which is its own little game. You make up your own stories. That's why Vox Machina on Amazon that they created on Critical Role, that they turned into a comic book and then a actual TV series. That's why it works so well, because they joke about the Dungeons and Dragons rules and things like that within the show. You can tell when they talk about, I could do that once a day, which is something that happens when you can only perform an act once a day or you have to roll for initiative or whatever the case. They make little jokes like that in the very subtly and well done in that show. But how do you make a Dungeons and Dragons movie? Didn't they try that already and fail? And then yes, Chris Pine is in it, but why?
It is a very, how do you even make a Dungeons and Dragons movie? You call it Game of Thrones, and I feel like that's what happens with a lot of these fantasy movies that get made or TV shows. They originally became, they were originally a Dungeons and Dragons meet.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that the Amber Heard petition hit over 2 million signatures.
It did.
That is, I will say that has to put them in a corner to try to get somebody removed in a movie that's already filmed. Post-production has started. It's ready to go.
Didn't they push it back though?
Apparently they cut her down to 10 minutes.
And I know they already had issues with their chemistry, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to somehow at this point, given everything that's come out, and we're not going to talk details about the trial only because, well, there's plenty of other sites doing that, or plenty of other people doing that. But given everything that has come out, it would be in Warner Brothers' best interest to try to negotiate their way out of her being in that film.
Why isn't there an Ezra Miller petition? I don't know.
But I did give.
This is just things we hear. I don't run these. I don't sign.
I don't run petitions, but I did send Omar a pretty funny meme about.
Oh yeah.
It was a really funny. I should get it down.
Mine was better with all the Khonshu characters and Layla right there on the couch. That was awesome.
Oh no, but it was the scene where Flash is trying to fight Peter Parker in the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and Flash was supposed to be Ezra Miller, and Tobey Maguire was like all of Hawaii, and it was just kind of funny.
So, man, that's huge understatement. Who is Amber Hart, and what is the trial? You U.S. citizens go way crazy over
we have a lot of time on our hands.
We do. People, man, it's crazy over here.
Shoot, they could. Tap's logic is right.
But
I would be top. He said they could Army of the Dead the whole thing. That's right, because they got rid of they put in Tig.
But this late, do you know how much that would cost?
Oh, it would cost a lot.
Would that even be
Netflix did it. Now they're losing.
They have to. Man, look how much Netflix has lost in movies. They spend way too much making these movies that aren't profitable because they go straight to streaming. But that's a different topic.
Yeah,
So I don't know what they're gonna do. I've seen the petition. I don't know if they'll remove her. Aquaman has been delayed, and so has Flash.
For all good reasons.
I don't know. That Flash movie. I will tell you this. My buddy that worked on, or I'm sorry, his wife worked on the Batman or the Flash movie. The Michael Keaton scenes are like the best thing in that movie.
I'm sure that's what everyone's going to go for. Let's be honest.
And it would be a damn shame if that movie gets canceled because of that's happened. All these people have to pay. And somebody made a really, really good comment here. What are my thoughts on the Walking Dead comics? They're okay. The show's not.
That was the really good point.
No.
Or was it the fact that Carol's exiting the spin-off with her and Norman Reed?
How in the hell is that show still going on?
That
Dungeons and Dragons, that's what it is. They should do it like Jumanji.
Yes.
Like make it like for a fact that it's a game.
It's a game.
Not taking itself seriously. Make it funny. Yeah, you're gonna piss off some fans that are like, I wanted to see dragons and dungeons.
Well, you can still see dragons if you. I don't want to say get sucked into the game.
Christopher Plummer. Do they look alike?
No, well, because that was the joke. They replaced Kevin Spacey in the News of the World, I think is what it was called.
I give it an 8 and 8.
Christopher Plummer, and then refilmed a lot of it. Did a lot of reshoots just because of the whole Kevin Spacey ordeal. Rodimus wants to know why we are. Oh, nope. You do it. You click on it. I'll click on it.
No, I got it. We're not fighting.
Okay. Why cry over the Flash and Aquaman when you're getting an El Muerto movie? Rodimus putting us back on track. Thank you. That's true.
It's not a sure thing. Okay. We don't know if it's happening. I don't care what Bad Bunny tweeted or Instagrammed until I see a trailer. It's not happening. Which era is better for good Avengers storyline? Golden Age, Silver Age, or more recent ones? There was no Golden Age for Avengers. That was just Captain America, really. The Silver Age, if you like reading that type of dialogue and stories, absolutely go for that. And I'd go into the Steve Englehart run, which is Kree-Skrull War, drawn by the late Neil Adams, who just passed away, I believe, yesterday. And God rest his soul. That is known as one of the great runs. That's Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, Big John Buscema, Sal Buscema, and modern run seems to get a lot of love. Jonathan Hickman's run, but my favorite of all time is Kurt Busiek's run with George Perez. The best run of Avengers. It's like the perfect mix of classic and like new Avengers. I love it. Why not Tarantula movie? 70 Spider-Man. He was right. I don't know.
Yeah. Aaron wants to know if the sequel for the Jumanji remake was good. And
I laughed. I saw it. I
personally enjoyed it because I thought, how can you make a sequel about this when you've already done it once? How can you make it entertaining again? The whole
I just wanted to see Kevin Hart act like an old man again. And
so that's what I think it really was. That when they added the storyline of the grandpas, which is played by Danny Glover and Danny DeVito, that brought a lot of heart to it that I wasn't expecting from a sequel about a video game that pulls people in and they make them play the game in the actual game
Dungeons
itself.
and Dragons is going to do the exact same
thing. And we're all going to say, that's such a great movie. Maybe, I don't know. So I think that's what the appeal was.
I don't have the Walking Dead Omnis. You're talking about the soft covers? I have the hard covers. I have 16 volumes of them. I mean, we need El Muerto movie and Bonesaw. Rest in peace, Randy Macho Man Savage. I love that guy. I am not plugging The Crossing. I'm not doing that. I'm still surprised, N-Man's here. Did you guys see the teaser for the new David Cronenberg film, Crimes of the... No, but I love his films. Has anybody seen The Northman? Because that's what I want to go.
Oh, I've heard such great things about it. So it's funny because I've heard audience. Well, no, but I've heard audience reviews where they're like, I think they were. I think it's like there's some audience members like I think who are expecting a different movie than what it is. Not that it's an art house film by any means, but I think they were expecting more like Vikings from the History Channel or Vikings Valhalla, like, and what they got was something completely different. But it's something that I think we would definitely enjoy.
What's up, Max? How you doing, buddy? I like The Witch and I like Lighthouse, so I'm in for this. And it's got Anna Taylor Joy, which is great. If you can't get Florence Pugh, let's get her. And apparently the only thing is she plays a minimal role in it.
I bet the trailer gives her more screen time.
Nicole Kidman like plays a minimal role, but I'm excited to see it, man. That's one of my to watch in theaters before it's gone. It's not playing around me.
No,
in like 30
they
minutes.
may expand it because that's what they did with Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. Everywhere, all
Which if you've not seen it, everybody should. That's a good movie. Like it's got a lot of heart.
Yeah, that one.
What's up, God?
Wasn't always playing everywhere. They expanded it slowly out, so we can see it now. But before that, it was hard to see.
They have a slipcase. They do have a slipcase edition. Yeah, just not for me, man. Should another Conan movie be attempted? Yeah, Jason Momoa tried.
Yeah, they did try that, didn't it? Did not go well. Let's maybe just let that sleeping dog lie.
All right, man, I want to hear some useless trivia. Skarsgård is starring in a movie called The Northman when he already played Eric Northman in True Blood.
That's right. His last name was Northman. That's hilarious. Thank you, Transcendent, for that good trivia that I will use.
Anna Taylor-Joy is to Omar what Tom Holland is to Amanda. No. Florence Pugh is to Omar what Tom Holland is to Amanda.
Yeah, he does have like his Florence Pugh.
I went to see Little Women with Amanda.
He did.
Just for Florence Pugh. I love that girl. She was anything she's in. May Conan will work as a Saturday morning cartoon. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
Is in The Northman. Not Willem Dafoe. Ethan Hawke's in The Northman.
Yeah, he is in the Ethan Hawke is in it. Good for Ethan Hawke having a renaissance of
I know Willem Dafoe is, and he looks nuts.
Willem Dafoe is such a great actor. He's one of those, again, a character actor, very underappreciated. Like, I think he's more appreciated now than he has been. Have you
seen Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that was Dafoe playing Jesus.
Yeah, it was great.
Angry Jesus. It was a different type of Jesus than we had seen before, and
but he can be angry. I've read, the Gospels. He gets a little angry, especially when he knocks off the. I saw Jesus Christ Superstar. He got angry at some point.
I got you. Those are based on the Dead Sea Scrolls. North. I didn't know Bjork was in The Northman.
Wow, cool. I haven't heard of
her. Bjork has a temper. I saw some videos of her snapping.
Yes, she does.
Trying to take a picture of her. Don't forget about Bjork being in the movie for one whole scene. Oh, one whole scene. Dude, I love the Conan the Adventurer. Jon Snow, is he really? Is he just lost?
I don't know. He might be.
He's trying to tell somebody about his
sword and his uncle.
And nobody's listening because they're too busy getting kidnapped by Celestials. Sony should just give Spider-Man to Disney. Oh my God. Do you know how many people want this to happen? Where's my Vampirella movie? Interesting. And do the Dynamite universe.
Oh,
there are a lot of properties out there, right? Like there's a lot of properties that could be done. And it feels like, well, I think Netflix and Dark Horse had a thing for a minute.
Yeah, they had some
Umbrella
stuff.
Academy, and then there was something else in the works.
Which that's coming out soon.
They canceled a bunch of their animated department. And oh my gosh, I was so excited about Usagi Yojimbo, and then it's out now, and it's not for me. The Norse people of the 9th to 11th century have never been represented accurately.
I think reality might be
too boring for people.
It's a good point. Yeah. It's a fair assessment.
I think about 800 years from now, when people make movies of us, I don't think there's going to be very many people on their phones texting each other.
Even though that happens.
It's going to be an all-out war against like bug creatures or something called a Corona beer, whatever they're gonna misinterpret. Usagi looks weird, dude. It's weird. Couldn't even finish. Yep. All the my friend Amanda actually works at Netflix. She's doing Battle Kitty
Not me.
right now.
I wish.
No. It's another friend. I have more than one friend named Amanda.
It's a very popular name in the 80s. Go ahead.
It was. How did you know she was from the 80s?
Because it was a very popular name in the 80s.
Really good. So yeah, everything has been canceled. A lot of people lost their jobs. Netflix has just been losing money. They upped the rent or the fees. It's really strange. Yeah, so Bone and all that stuff has been canceled.
Yeah. So Netflix, I mean, everyone probably has heard the story already that have come out. Netflix earnings went down significantly. This is getting away from CinemaCon for a second, but of course they blame password sharing. I blame the platform. It's hard to search for things. It's not like what you expect to see, like popping up. Like the fact that when something comes out that I want to see that's released on a certain day and it's not up there in the watch this kind of irks me.
Yeah, it's a
like I bet when Stranger Things season 4 part 1 comes out, it will not be right up there for me to view. I'll have to go search it in like trending now or new, and I don't want to do that.
I will say that was the smart thing they did do though, was separate like seasons into different parts. They did the same thing with the Ozark, right? Like
and Grace and Frankie, because that's just the last. Oh, that's right. The last part of their season came out. Grace and Frankie. If anyone.
So I just started watching Ozark, but yeah, season 4 was airing in January, and then part 2 came out in May or late April. And they're doing the same thing with Stranger Things. That's what's keeping people coming back.
They're not going to go away from the binging thing, but they can't do the weekly shows like what everyone else is doing.
The shows I don't think are an issue. It's all this money they're spending on movies, like that Ryan Reynolds movie. Granted,
to try to be Oscar worthy.
I don't understand what the purpose of it was. If you're not gonna get the money from theaters, why would you make a multi-million-dollar movie?
So the reason I think it is because they're also having issues with all of these distributors and things like that were once selling them their rights to stream their things, are pulling those things away from Netflix to form their own streaming services, right? Everyone went on Netflix to watch The Office or Friends, but now those are gone because
HBO,
NBC,
now.
Exactly. So now that they've wisened up and they're like, we want to cut of this streaming money too.
These different services are making it hard for this guy to stay honest. Just saying,
It's just stay honest and stay up to date with everything. Good Lord.
It's just holy crap. I mean, we talked about this 3 years ago on this show. Like everything's gonna go to cable prices again. You're gonna be paying $90 a month for everything if you want to watch. Everything is exclusive. You have Paramount, Peacock, Hulu, HBO, Amazon. What am I missing? Netflix,
Paramount. Peacock, Paramount Plus. The AMC has their own, which I don't know why anyone would watch that when at this point, AMC used to be
The Walking Dead.
Well, yeah, that's it. AMC used to be the place we go for really good, like content that's on the level of high quality like HBO content, but on cable, right? You got your Breaking Bad was on FX, right? No, you get your Mad Men, right?
AMC.
Yeah, you got Breaking Bad. You had Mad Men, but then Walking Dead came out and it was a massive hit. And now it's Walking Dead, then the Fear of the Walking Dead, and then you get the spinoff of Breaking Bad, but they haven't really put out new content. It's all just regurgitated like spinoffs of the content they already have.
Netflix needs to stop overpaying for IP. That is a really good point, Amanda. What you just said. They overpaid so much for Knives Out. I said the exact same thing whenever we talked about that last year, maybe. I said, wait, why are they paying? They didn't even make the movies. They paid for the rights to make the movies.
Yes.
Millions of dollars. That is insane. We forgot about Disney Plus, where we just reviewed this.
And Disney Plus, which Disney Plus didn't even run for the money.
I haven't seen you for a minute. Psycho's better than Wolverine.
Hey.
Oh, man, I hate
and you are right.
And
Amazon Prime. Did we even mention Amazon Prime? But see, Amazon Prime is they can do whatever they want, and they can put out their movies with expensive people like Ryan Reynolds and Nicole Kidman, because streaming is not their only source of revenue. They also have a massive distribution chain that they have. They're kind of maybe skimping their delivery drivers, but we all use it for all, intents purposes. So they have other revenue streams, so they could get away with it. But same with Disney, they have other revenue streams too. But Netflix is all they have. You know what I mean?
Yep. Open Range on Prime is interesting. I've been wanting to watch that.
I saw that.
Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max are my only subscriptions. I feel like there was some other movie news that we needed to talk about.
There's other stuff.
What do you got?
Well, okay, so I did forget to mention one thing that did happen at CinemaCon in relation to Marvel. They did show some early footage of Black Panther 2, and it was Nakia and
Shuri?
Okoye and Shuri, getting ready for battle. So apparently it's the beginning of the film. They're getting ready for battle. So now a lot of people are speculating who they're going to battle with. And is it going to be Namor? Are we going to introduce Atlantis? Like, is that going to be a thing? I don't know. But that is something that they introduced early on. Of course, I think a lot of people are wondering what they're going to do with Black Panther 2 with Chadwick Boseman's death, and how they're going to handle that, and if they're replacing him or not, or giving someone else the mantle. And given that there's been so much, I know Bast is part of the Aenid and is an Egyptian god and part of that mythology, so it's not a stretch that he would be in Moon Knight, but to see it referenced so much, I just wonder if there's not going to be some type of connection at some point that we might see later on down the road.
Apple Plus also has a lot of shows. I forgot about Apple Plus.
But they, again, have a different revenue stream they can rely on, too. I know.
Well, this is insane. $500 million for Knives Out.
Not worth... great movie.
How much did that movie even pull?
Not that much. It was a great movie. It was successful for what it was.
We watched it together, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great post-Avengers Endgame role for Chris Evans.
That's who was in it.
Yeah.
Amazon also overpays for stuff, but they have diversified revenue streams, 100%.
Yep.
100%. Have y'all seen Severance? It's all right.
Yes.
I liked it. I thought it was a slow burn, and I love the twist. I'm not going to talk about it because we're not talking about it, but the twist was really good, and I thought, I didn't see that coming.
I did not either, to be honest.
Because I thought I had figured out who that person was, but then when it was revealed who it really was, I was like, oh.
I didn't. I still was like, I don't know.
You had me.
Yeah.
Last night, I watched the first 3 episodes of The Offer.
About making a Godfather.
I need to watch that after I'm watching. The rest of Ozark.
Yeah, my question, because those of you who are watching Paramount Plus, and we could talk about Paramount did release. We already talked about Mission Impossible 7, right? Dead Reckoning Part 1. So the Mission Impossible 8 will be Dead Reckoning Part 2.
That's an awesome name. Is it really called Part 1?
Yeah, it is. It really
is. Ridiculous.
They showed some early footage. But anyone on the stream watching that Halo show?
I haven't. And you know what I've watched? This is when I got to lose all my street cred. The Real World Reunions.
Oh, I love that stuff. Yeah.
I watched
the early
1, season 2, and season 9, the New Orleans cast. So they just had 2 episodes of that. Mission Impossible 46.
That man can make
watch Open Range. Open Range, the movie with Kevin Costner. Because awesome one, you should be watching Yellowstone. Yeah, I haven't seen any.
Every time I see that, I keep thinking Down on the Range, which is the movie.
The Roseanne Barr Disney movie. Wow.
It's an awful movie. My little brother loved that movie, though. Anyways. Oh, hey, also fun fact related to TV and movie news. At CinemaCon, Olivia Wilde was introducing her.
Did you say fun fact? I don't think this is a fun fact.
Olivia Wilde was introducing her presentation of Don't Worry, Darling, the film that she directed that also stars Harry Styles, who's apparently her beau, and also Star Fox.
She had to throw that in.
And she was served with custody papers during her presentation.
From Jason Sudeikis?
Yes, from Jason Sudeikis. And I don't think he
intended
it
wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. I'm sure the guy was like, I know she's going to be here this time, and I'm going to serve her these papers. I don't know how he got in to CinemaCon, because if he can get in, I need to know how I can get in.
That's a really weird thing to be served during a presentation, though. Like, wait your damn turn. You know, like I don't know anything about the relationship. I don't look into these things. I don't know what happened, but it's just really odd to be in the middle of something and then be interrupted. Omar and Amanda, I've heard the exact same thing, by the way, Travis. Apparently there have been critics who have watched the new Top Gun Maverick.
They loved it.
And they say it's better than the first one.
Yes.
I heard it was, what did they say? The review that I read, and I hate reading reviews, but somebody sent it to me, and I'm like, okay, now I'm in. It said, this is how you do a proper action movie. I was like, what? Top Gun Maverick?
Really?
Okay, because I feel like we've had really good action movies, especially, I mean, in a way, the entire MCU
is a good, like, good action movies. Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you something. If they have an extended volleyball scene and more Tom Cruise close-ups smiling, I'm in.
He's gonna be all for it.
I love Top Gun, man. And you throw in Danger Zone? Kenny Loggins, baby?
Well,
the entire dude, I'm not joking. The entire soundtrack, even Take My Breath Away, I don't care.
You know who's doing the soundtrack? The
Bad Bunny?
No, Lady Gaga. I'm okay with that because she is fantastic. But she did announce she announced she's doing the theme song. They have not shown it. I think they played it maybe at CinemaCon. But Lady Gaga's doing the theme song. She has some good anthems.
No, man, but like half that damn soundtrack's in my jogging track. I love that Top Gun soundtrack. The theme is the theme the same? If they leave the theme alone,
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. When does that come out? Top Gun Maverick.
This summer, I thought. People, there better be a volleyball scene. It seems disrespectful to her at the event itself. That's what I thought. Like I said, I think
I agree.
Real World Road. I used to watch those, man. I used to watch those. If it has
Memorial Day weekend, sorry,
I'm in, dude. If it has let's do it. If it's got the theme, it's got Through the Fire, and I guess Lady Gaga. I like Lady Gaga. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
she was great. But who's Through the Fire? Larry Green. Larry Green's Through the Fire. Freaking perfect. No one has ever said that anywhere. Only on Near Mint Condition.
Well, you don't know that, I'm sure.
Top Gun, Maverick, Schooling, John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick's are great action movies.
Wait. Rob Liefeld said that Top Gun 2 is the most audience-pleasing movie he has. Rob Liefeld.
Has he not watched Spider-Man No Way Home? Because that was pretty audience-pleasing to me.
Amanda, what if we go watch it?
Endgame?
What if you?
Or what about Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because that Flash going back in time was the most audience-pleasing cheer moment of the last 2 years, apparently.
Yeah, and you saw how Ezra celebrated. Dude, what if you love Top Gun so much, you get Maverick tattooed on your arm, and then over here,
I haven't gotten a Harry Potter tattoo yet. I don't know if I would get a Top Gun tattoo.
What if you this movie changes your mind though? Like just blows
it would have to change my mind the way that
we changed the whole dynamic of our Reelz Talk. It now becomes a Top Gun show. We can only talk about Tom Cruise movies. That sound right. Thank you, Rodman's Primer. The soundtrack was freaking perfect. Top Gun 2 is out. So the poker sound. I see what you did there. I haven't seen a movie since Spider-Man No Way Home. It's time to change that. You said you were watching Open Range. Go watch the Kevin Costner movie because it's beautifully shot. Freaking awesome. Rest in peace, Neil Adams. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I watched a 3-hour stream with some dudes commenting on Top Gun. That was a fun time.
That does sound like a fun time.
Dude, if Tom Cruise... Look, let me tell you something right now, Cullen. If Tom Cruise wants to do Cocktail 2, I'm in. If he wants to do Days of Thunder 2, I'm in. If he wants to do Mission Impossible 7 Part 1, I'm in. What the hell is it called, Amanda? Mission Impossible 8?
Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Dead Reckoning Part 2.
If he wants to do Risky Business with Rebecca freaking hot ass De Mornay, I'm in.
Do you think, now going back to Doctor Strange, do you think that rumors are true that he's going to be...
segue. What?
Well, do you think the rumors are true that Tom Cruise is going to be a Supreme Iron Man, or that he will show up as a version of Iron Man? It'd be weird to have an Illuminati. Well, so here's the thing.
How are you not going to leak Tom Cruise instead of the Illuminati, though?
It would be weird to have especially with the Ultron droids, right? Droids. It would be weird to have.
It's like Ultron droids. You're right.
Yeah, it'd be weird to have them and not have an Iron Man, because they're created by Iron Man. In most multiverses, Ultron is created by Iron Man. So that would be unless tell me where I'm wrong, but it'd be interesting not to see a version of Iron Man in the Illuminati.
Yeah, but do you really think? And this is okay. Take a step back from the MCU. Tom Cruise being in a movie and not promoting it and making everyone in his team promote the movie.
I don't know.
Tom Cruise is going to be superior Iron Man. Like, I can't imagine a world I live in.
Okay, but I need to go back to. We need to go back to 2008 when Tropic Thunder came out.
I knew you were going to say Tropic Thunder.
I don't remember him promoting it. I remember being shocked seeing him as Les Grossman, but I don't remember him promoting it. I remember everyone else, but I don't remember him.
I don't remember him being. You're right. I don't remember him being.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know he was going to
and this would be akin to that, because a lot of people would have liked to see him as. I really use that word a lot today, as Iron Man. I know we're getting back on this topic. we already know we got. So the version of Mordo we're getting in this one, he's a Sorcerer Supreme in another multiverse, right? So
Mordo?
Yeah, Mordo's they call him he's actually labeled as Supreme Mordo in yeah, so he's clearly a Sorcerer Supreme.
Dude, I'm all about freaking Top Gun 2 right now. That's how my brain keeps spinning.
Y'all, you're so excited about Top Gun 2.
I'm excited about people just brought it up in the chat and I forgot how excited I was for that movie 2 years ago. Legend Part 2, but Tim Curry, man, I think he's in a wheelchair. Dude, him playing the demon. Oh my God. I forgot I had. Never mind. That's a story for the AMA. Project Viking. Remember in the next AMA I'll tell my story about my feelings for a character in Legend. It's embarrassing. Omar in the Danger Zone, baby. Yeah, man. I love it. Tom Cruise built the Illuminati in a cave with a bunch of
he built it. We need to keep that GIF on file.
Mordo from our universe. I think our Mordo died, didn't he?
No, he went off. He didn't agree with what Steven was doing and went off. We haven't seen him since then.
He was still good, except the after credits show him like kind of going towards the dark arts, right?
With Benjamin Bratt, right? Didn't he bring him back? He took away he took away Benjamin Bratt's ability to walk, because Benjamin Bratt was the gentleman that.
Hey, he represents Peru. That's the only Peruvian actor we've had in an MCU movie.
That's right. Well, I think
he should have been El Muerto.
He plays he's played a good bad guy in DMZ.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
We should have reviewed it. I watched it too.
Well, we have Moon Knight, Morbius, Doctor Strange, but we should review DMZ. You know what we should do at DMZ? We should do a comic versus TV show episode about that.
What comic? It's pretty long though. It's like 5 volumes.
Okay, well, can we just do the volume that
the show's based on, which is I think volumes 1.5, I think.
Okay, so could we just do that? We've done that before. We didn't we didn't do the whole comic. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, dude, it's crazy. We've got all this stuff happening.
You learned that this week that my name's not actually Omar, right? Like everybody mispronounces it. It's actually Omar. Omar. That's right. No, he murdered that handicapped guy who was playing basketball.
Yes, it was Benjamin Bratt.
Catwoman, when Benjamin Bratt was in Catwoman during the basketball scene, that was him,
he was too. He was also in a basketball scene there too. But yeah, it was Benjamin Bratt.
Tim Curry has never recovered from this massive stroke he had. That's sad, man. I love dude. Talk about range. That guy. Oh my gosh,
he's great.
That guy has range, man. Good idea. I hope we see one in Scarlet Witch in Scarlet Witch in the X-Men universe. X-Men Quicksilver sister. How do I put this? This movie is getting too big for its britches.
But we thought that about Spider-Man No Way Home, and it turned out just fine.
And everything was there with the exception of all the silly things that people were... Except for Venom, right? I think we kind of thought... And let me tell you,
that Venom thing. I think Sony just wanted to put that in for the sake of Sony. Like, we are producing this.
You talk about some messed up marketing. Like, we talked about it during Morbius, but like the fact that they leaked that scene with him, with Eddie Brock looking at the monitor.
Yes.
Talking about Spider-Man. Everybody thought, oh, the next Venom movie. It's going to be Spider-Man versus Venom. It's going to happen. He's in the Tom Holland universe.
And then nothing happened.
Yeah. Venom villain movie either way. I think it's the same Mordo, maybe went to a different universe and became.
That's what I was thinking too, Germ. I was thinking that he figured out the multiverse situation, went to another one, and became Sorcerer Supreme there.
Indeed, Michael. Yep.
Yeah.
He was a force of nature. Are we going to see Paul Bettany doing drugs? Wait, is Paul Bettany rumored to be in that? I mean, Vision is gone.
Well, I know there's
right?
Yes, but remember, White Vision's out there somewhere.
I love that we call him White Vision.
Wow, so we have to call him Purple Vision and White Vision, and he's out there somewhere. So we know he exists still. They're not going to just ignore. Maybe they'll ignore it, but I hope to God not.
I had that much to drink. Why was Venom in that movie? He didn't know Peter Parker was Spider-Man. You're right, he didn't.
Well, but okay, so people argued about when in Venom 2, Venom talked about the whole collective mind of all the different Venoms from all the different universes. They all know what's going on. So maybe there's a Venom in one universe that does know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I think that is how they got away with it. Someone explained it once, and I was like, oh, I forgot they made that one-off comment in Venom 2. I guess that makes sense.
White Vision be using white stuff. Curry recorded the original voice for the animated series Joker. It was deemed too horrifying, and they went with Hamill. I didn't know Tim Curry recorded that voice.
I did not either, but I do like Hamill's Joker. So.
Oh yeah, Hamill is phenomenal. Where's my girl Hela though? Bring Cate Blanchett back. She was great. Do you think she would come back to an MCU movie, or was that a one-time thing?
It might be a one-time thing for her. I think she got her feet wet, and I think she's good with it. But I mean, I'm still really interested in Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, the fact that we've been talking about so many gods recently, you can't tell me we're not going to see the Egyptian gods in this, that we're seeing in Moon Knight. We've had the Black Panther gods. There's a lot of gods, a lot of higher beings. Yeah,
they've established this with this particular face, right? With the Eternals.
Yes.
With tying Black Panther a little bit up with Moon Knight.
Yep.
And then in the trailer, we did see Olympus, which.
Yes, we know we have the Greek gods because, when we talk about gods, that they are a more popular pairing. But yeah, I think there's going to be too much for Love and Thunder in that realm for Hela to return there. So,
Shaky Logic, but the answer is Venom shares a hive mind across the multiverse, and Tobey Maguire's Venom knew. Oh my God, is that real? It cannot be real.
He had the one-off hive mind comment. That's why it works, I guess.
You know who the God Butcher should eat first? I hope the God Butcher eats people, because everybody is like
Venom.
God Butcher, like Gore looks so horrible. Like I've heard so many people. I actually got a picture somebody sent me.
As long as he has more personality than the Dark Elf version that
Melissa McCarthy, like that.
She's a god. Oh, she's a god. She's an
Asgardian god.
She's an Asgardian god. Yeah. So as long as they do that.
Gods.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I want.
He'll probably eat. Matt Damon.
My friends and I got together this week, and we were deciding what kind of character Gore's gonna be. So we're gonna let me actually, because I want to hear what Amanda's thoughts, because it's Taito, right? We know he likes whimsical. We know he likes what he did with a couple of characters that were serious in the comics. Now,
and they liven him up, like Korg. Korg was very serious.
A perfect example.
And he is a very whimsical, happy-go-lucky kind of character.
Okay, so you know how I feel about whimsical twist on my bad guys, but
I do.
Has there ever been a time where Christian Bale in his adult life has played a whimsical type of character?
No. I mean, I'm thinking about American Psycho. I'm thinking about our Batman. I don't as long as he doesn't do the Christian Bale Batman voice for Gore, I'm fine.
Murder me. Murder me. I don't.
Where is she?
I can't think Gore being okay, because I feel like it could go that route. It could go the goofy type of villain route. And then the serious,
because he made hella joke around too,
movie, right? You already have something serious. If they are going to go, I don't know yet. If they are going to go the route of Jane Foster having cancer,
the toy spoiled that. They did. They are.
So it's 100%, or
because the back of the toy marketing says Jane Foster battling from cancer, blah blah. So yeah, the toy marketing has kind of
okay. So then that's already your serious territory, right? I mean, although this guy did make a movie about World War II and made some, I don't know. It's just I think he finds a really good balance, so I'm excited to see what he does with the movie. I still hate that we can never have a good Hercules in the MCU because they gave Thor his entire personality.
Yes, they did.
And look what they did with Moon Knight, man. They gave him the Hulk background, Larry.
But we're never getting a Hulk.
But
Universal has not given that stuff up. I don't know what's going on with that.
Maybe they'll change Hercules up a little bit.
Maybe they'll put the Rock in there as Hercules.
What if he's all flamboyant, God Butcher? I mean, they could. Something has to give. Something has to be light in this movie, right?
Well, there's plenty of light. There could be a dark, right?
I mean, as far as like the villain side of things.
Yeah.
Like the not the collector. I'm sorry. The
Executioner. He was even funny.
Yeah, and he even had some funny lines with the whole little.
Carl Urban is great. I love that guy.
Oh, I love Carl Urban.
Great actor.
Ever since, Lord of the Rings. But no, not the collector. Who's his brother?
Loki?
No.
The collector. I'm sorry. You're talking about the Grandmaster.
Yes.
Talking about Jeff Goldblum. Well, as soon as you know they're going to hire Jeff Goldblum, what did you expect?
Right? Like,
yeah.
I think when people saw that, like, it was interesting because whenever you go from Thor 2 to that, it's like, how did we get to fireworks and orgies? Like, what is this about? So,
yeah.
Grandmaster, thank you all. A little too late there, Max and Colin, but that's okay.
That's fine.
You think the reality stone gave her the cancer when it merged with her because they met gamma radiation?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the storyline they're going with.
They're gonna have to go with something quick, even though in the comics it was quick, right? He just comes and visits her, and he's like, "How did I not know this?"
Well, technically, it's been many years since it's happened. So, I mean, since the Dark World took place, Thor, since we've seen her a lot. It's a lot of time has passed. Not only within the MCU up until Thor Ragnarok, but then a 5-year time jump. So, yeah, I mean, and granted, even then, there's a 5-year time jump, and the new Asgard that we saw in Endgame looks vastly different. So more time has passed for them to build up and for it to become this getaway hub they've made it to be. So, yeah, that's totally plausible.
Is James still in the chat? Because we need to talk about Batwoman being canceled.
Oh, they canceled they did. I'm not surprised by that.
Legends of Tomorrow is also canceled.
So it looks like they're on the downturn with the DC CW shows.
Is Flash still going?
I think it is, but I don't know if the Flash is on its last leg.
I think the of the Dark World gave her cancer. Oh man, maybe it was the Ether that gives Jane cancer. It's gonna be interesting to see how it's all played out. So it's a big movie. Speaking of, there's a lot of things they need to do and resolve. That's a big movie that we're gonna go in. Oh, I can't wait for that movie either.
Yeah.
Sorry to jump in like this, but you guys think there's a mini merit to Moon Knight's last episode leading into the Multiverse of Madness? I mean, they've said that this isn't. Right? They said
it was gonna be pretty standalone, that it wouldn't tie into anything. Given the nature of what we're talking about with Egyptian gods, with Bast, with the mention of the ancestral plane, I feel like there could be more ties to Black Panther or even Thor: Love and Thunder because of the god route than there would be the Multiverse of Madness. Because I think that we've got a lot of characters with that, especially with Wanda and Loki maybe making an appearance, and God knows who else. Besides America Chavez and a version of Captain Marvel, a version of Captain Britain. So I don't know if Moon Knight will really tie into that more so than
Tom
the other
Cruise
films.
Playing his character from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, a lot of shows. So Flash did get an early renewal for season 9, which I cannot believe it has 9 seasons.
I really hope Stargirl did not get canceled because I really like that show. I need to finish season 2.
Well, you need to be watching it and it won't get canceled.
What about Superman and Lois? Superman and Lois, right?
That's been renewed. That was an early one.
That was a good show. We reviewed the first few episodes of that. Not only was Stargirl good, but they were teasing Jay Garrick linking the universes. Interesting. Did they also collect the Gotham Knights show that ties into the game? The Gotham Knights show? You're talking about the movies? I don't know.
No, the Gotham Knights was supposed to be a show they were gonna make, I believe,
I thought it was the
for
animated
HBO
movie.
Max. Maybe, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with with WB. They love to announce these things so many years. They're like Square Enix, right? Oh, Final Fantasy VII remake is coming, and here we are with part 1. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't seen that. I mean, they also announced Green Lantern Corps for HBO Max, and nothing yet. The yellow Xavier chair from the 90s. Were you talking about the Illuminati?
He is,
All the
yeah.
CW shows should go out with a bang, do a Final Crisis type of event. That would be cool.
Yep.
Is the Swamp Thing show. It was good. I liked it. It just got canceled and nobody ever brought anything back. They did borrow some aspects of that Alan Moore run. If you liked it, definitely check it out. Go ahead.
It looks like Stargirl is still like the 3rd season is supposed to premiere later this year, so that's still on point track to premiere. So they haven't canceled that yet. Okay. But yes, they did cancel Batwoman. They canceled Legends of Tomorrow.
What's going on with that Jane Foster Valkyrie oversized hardcover? I remember you talking about it last summer. Many places still have it listed. I never officially announced it though, man. So I think it's just a complete collection, not a oversized hardcover. They were supposed to make a Gotham Knights show. I think they're filming the pilot. Had never turned a profit since it launched. What? The CW?
That's surprised. I mean, they've had like a lot of like cult hits, I guess is what you'd say. Nothing that bordered on like super popular, but a lot of stuff that's with a lot of niche like groups that's very popular. So
there was a reference in a recent Flash episode that their Jay had time travel and fought in World War II. Same actor was JSA Garrick in Stargirl. And it's the same actor that played the Flash in the 90s TV show, right? It's great. I actually really enjoyed the Flash seasons 1 and 2. I think I watched seasons 1 and 2 of the Flash and seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Arrow, and then I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I know that it's got a following. I know Maddie loves
it. Yeah.
What about Supernatural?
I thought, wasn't that ending?
I thought that was over. Isn't that
over?
I
thought Supernatural ending. I thought it ended because what's his name's moved on to The Boys. The other Jensen Ackles is on The Boys now, and Jared Padalecki is now the star of the Walker Texas Rangers reboot, which has been renewed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Supernatural
came into a car accident.
But as far as watching it, I don't think you watched Supernatural, did you? No, you didn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't watch it either. It wasn't my sister loves that show. Went to the Supernatural con, the whole 9 yards, met the whole cast. She's a big fan, but I just can never get into it.
I think it was in the book catalog, but like much like DC, whenever things are in the book catalog, you can never trust it. This is why I never tell people to pre-order things that are only in the book catalog. And man, only pre-order things when they're officially solicited. Otherwise, you're going to get your heart broken, and then your money's going to be sitting out there. Just checked. Stargirl was apparently given a 3rd season, but hasn't shown up on the returning shows. I hope yet. Supernatural is getting a prequel. It's Larry, you did not strike me as a Supernatural fan, my brother. Well, that's awesome. Supernatural ended a few years ago.
2020, I think it was its last season.
That's not a few years ago. It's like
a couple of years ago, but it was time. 15 seasons is long. There's still other shows like Grey's Anatomy, things like that could probably be canceled. But
is Grey's Anatomy still ongoing? I can't be sure.
It is.
If you're done with the MK5 episode, my rating's 11 out of 10. Loved it.
Nice.
I'm glad you loved it, man.
It was a great
episode. It's been
like
15 years since Supernatural started. Time for the reboot.
Time for the reboot already. We need a prequel. We got to keep this train going.
How was the Batman or Batwoman show? The books are absolute fire. That's for the recommend on that, Hermano. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, man. I really like that.
I never watched the series, to be honest.
I wasn't the Crisis, right?
We watched the Crisis, but I wasn't a fan of Ruby Rose's acting, so I never got into it. I know they recasted her because she had issues on set, etc. But again, by that point, I was pretty much done with those CW shows. So
huge allergic reaction. Like she had a huge allergic reaction to something.
And it wasn't handled well, is that thing? And I think she had issues with her co-star, Dougray Scott.
Yeah, my wife and I binged all 16 seasons in like a year or so. Just time to see the ending. That's awesome, Larry.
That is awesome.
Maybe we'll get trade paperbacks. Yeah, it's a complete collection that's going on. That's what they're doing. They should start a reboot before the original is over and have them run concurrent.
Could you imagine if someone did something like that? It would create conversation, that's for sure.
Probably, yeah. So, Titans is still going on HBO, is that right?
I think so.
I know Young Justice just had a new season pop up.
It did, yeah.
Which I have not seen yet. Supernatural Reborn. Amanda, do you have a wish list for yet to be developed adapted properties?
I don't know. I mean, there's properties that I've seen adapted that I wish were adapted better, or in another way. So the Mortal Instruments series, it's a novel series, comes to mind particularly. Both ways they've rebooted it, they've tried it, movie and TV. I didn't like either one of them. So it's hard to say. One I was excited for that was adapted that I didn't like either was the Chaos Walking series. So it's hard because very few adaptations turn into like a Lord of the Rings, right? I mean, even Harry Potter had its ups and downs, but it wasn't terrible as far as the adaptations go, but it's just always hit or miss. So it's hard for me to have something that I really, really want adapted because I'm just worried they're going to ruin the property that I came to love so much. That's why I like about comics.
My world and Transformers.
Yeah, well, hey, are you excited for that Age of the Beast?
Sort of.
On Paramount Plus.
Yeah, let's do it.
According to the reviews, it couples kind of like some of this Michael Bay with a couple of the Bumblebee. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I liked Bumblebee.
No, I did too. So.
And then what else? Oh, the Batman got officially greenlit for a sequel, right?
Yeah. That's right.
So we're getting
So I guess this is where we're gonna get Barry Keoghan's Joker now. Maybe not. Maybe he'll just be that guy who just shows up in Arkham and he never does anything. Oh wait, yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
I want a Cowboy Bebop. Oh wait, let me tell you, man. Like I think some things just work best the way they are originally. Like
yes,
the mediums, like Cowboy Bebop was perfect to begin with. I never understood this mentality of like having people making it like people not watching cartoons because they're cartoons. They only watch live action movies. Like that seems like a ridiculous mentality to have. And I always go back to things like, I'm sorry, what was the show that you talked about? League of Legends.
Arcane League of Legends, or are you talking about Vox Machina?
Remember how good that was?
Oh, it was great, yeah.
Can you imagine if it was a live action show, how many more people would have probably watched it and talked about it?
Probably,
but because it's animation, and in this country that we live in here in America, like the animation's like, oh, it's for kids still.
Yeah, because they still think of Disney
like
and stuff.
Almost an insult that they did that with Cowboy Bebop, and my wife watched it and she did not want to watch it, and we didn't even finish it. I just remember the dialogue was atrocious.
It was pretty bad.
When Faye was talking about like blackmailing Jet, and she's like, "Get it? Because you're a black male." I was like, "Who wrote this? Like, did somebody from like, did they have interns just write the script? Like, oh, this is not good." But I didn't finish watching it. It could have been a masterpiece. I don't know. If you all liked it, more power to you.
Exactly.
Does anyone care about Avatar 2 and 3? In a way.
Curmudgeon, my question is: does anyone care about 4 and 5? Because apparently we still have 2 more after that. I don't know.
I like the way they put it. And Haley what's her name? She's great.
Steinfeld. She's great. Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened, if it's still going, but I was so looking forward to Mega City 1, the series based off Judge Dredd.
Yeah, someone
single thing about it anymore.
Someone else earlier in the chat talked about if they were still making that Red Sonja. There's something that I thoroughly enjoyed the Gail Simone run. Would love to see Red Sonja be done in movie or TV show adaptation, maybe a Xena-esque, but with better budget. But yeah, I haven't heard hide or hair of what's going on with that, if anything has come to fruition.
I think Matt Reeves wanted to have Freeze for it. Better have Arnold.
That'd be cool.
Never worked in the transfer. Shogun Warrior, yeah, man. I still love my Messenger Z. Hell, Omar, we still got adult closeted comic book readers here. Yeah, we do. I would really like Marvel to do 2D animation for the current run, the Hickman era, Donny Cates Venom, Silver Surfer by
That would be
Slott.
cool.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know. I was not a fan of the animation that they used for What If.
What If?
They need to change that. I mean, that was like them doing a proper animation. I think DC still dominates that. Do we have the plot premise for Batman series following Penguin? No, we do know we have a Gotham show and a Penguin show. We just don't know what they are.
We just don't know what it is yet. Yeah.
All right. Oof, we are going to wrap it up.
Yes, it is 10 o'clock, guys.
Roberto, you are late.
Yes, just gonna how much we not like. Wait, we did though, Roberto. Go back and watch it and see our thoughts on episode 5. So so next week we're gonna try to figure out how we're gonna do the last episode of Moon Knight. We'll keep you guys posted. Maybe a Thursday night show, because Friday we are going to watch Doctor Strange together and then review Doctor Strange on Saturday. It'll be probably spoiler filled, so just FYI. Not sure when everyone is seeing Doctor Strange this weekend, or if they're going to see it this next weekend, coming weekend. So just keep that in mind. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all our social media channels at NearMintCon. Remember to check us out on our spread shop for some great Near Mint Edition merchandise. And remember to check us out on our Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us in all that we do, and support Omar's new fishing endeavors now that he has a kayak. So make sure you get up on there so that he can fish in his
my wife's kayak.
Well, then Melody's new fishing habit. So go ahead and get on there. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be in your mint. Good journey. We will see you all next week.
Everyone have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.